Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Look at me. My hair is a wreck. I just woke up a little bit ago. Woo! I slept deep tonight. I went to bed about 11 o'clock and Alex came upstairs and I said, "Are you going to bed already?" And he was like, "Well, I'm coming upstairs to bed. I don't know if I'm going to go to bed." And I said, "Imagine you going to sleep." He goes, "Well, I don't know that I'm going to go to bed yet." And so we just laid there in bed, and the dogs were all, Tucker was playing with his toys, and Boo Radley like snuggled in next to me, and Alex was like looking at TikToks, which is he's either looking at TikToks or he's playing that township game on his phone. And I fell asleep, and so I woke up like a half an hour later. It was like 11:30 something, and he had turned the light off, and so like I turned over and he wasn't on his phone or anything. I said, "Are you going to bed?" And he said, "Yeah." He was like real quiet. He was like, "Yeah." And I said, "Are you asleep already?" And he goes, "No." And we just sat there in the darkness and talked for a little bit. It was real sweet. And then I fell asleep. And it was nice. And I slept so hard until about 3:45. And then I woke up. And now I'm up. And I'm vlogging. And I'm going to vlog for like an hour. And unless I really get into talking about something. And then I'm going to listen to like a half an hour of my audiobook, and then I'm going to go home and go back to bed. The problem is that I have the windows open. The problem is, and I usually don't have that one open, but I'll explain that in just a second. But the problem is when I get up in the middle of the night, then I'm like awake. Like right now I'm like waking up, and I got water, and I also have my Diet Coke right here. So, or Diet Pepsi, but when I was at Meijer, I said this last night that I bought more Diet Coke. Where's that lip plumper stuff? I like that stuff. When I came out to my car windows, I noticed my neighbors were too, completely fogged up. So I didn't even want to mess with it today, because I go back and forth between like cold and hot and cold and hot. Do you guys do this? Like, there's probably some simple solution out there and you just can never figure it out, and you go back and forth. So I was like, I'm Googling this tonight. So I Googled how to, because it was like, 80 today. It was really nice, summer day. Although it's not summer yet, I know. But in Indiana, I don't know how they do it in other states and whatever, and I guess it's probably not a state-to-state thing, but we always consider summer like after Memorial Day, it's summer because schools were out. When I was growing up as a kid, schools were out the day, like the Friday before Memorial Day was the last day of school, always. You didn't go back to school after Memorial Day. And then, this is like when I was in elementary till about 8th grade, and then they changed it. I don't know why. I don't remember why. It was probably some districting thing with the school systems or something. But when I was growing up, and I know with my parents' era too, the last day of school was the Friday before Memorial Day, and then the first day of school back was the Tuesday after Labor Day. Tuesday or Wednesday after Labor Day. I know a lot of the private schools in Indianapolis, like if you live in Indianapolis, like Park Tudor, I know is still, I think, on that schedule, I'm pretty sure. Several of the private schools here are. But like all the kids got out real early this year because, they were e-learning anyway. I think my nephews were done last week or the week before. And So Sebastian is officially in preschool, and Carlitos is officially in 2nd grade. And Liliana made little signs congratulating them, and she posted pictures. It was real sweet. Oh, so anyway, I Googled how to defrost your windows on a summer night is exactly what I Googled. And it said the fastest way is to either make the temperature, like put on cold, so you make the temperature in the car the same as the temperature outside, which right now is 64 degrees, or open your windows. So I opened my windows, because in that way it would make the temperature inside the car the same as outside. I opened my windows, and that did not work at all. Didn't do anything. So sitting in the driveway and driving for a couple minutes. So I turned on the air on cold, and that seemed to make it worse. So I now have the defrost on 73, which is 10 degrees warmer. So it's wrong, what it says on Google, and it's working. And I also have the heater on the rear windows, and that seems to be working. So I thought, like I said to Alex, I was like, we're not, like, is anything going on? Like, obviously, because, you know, social distancing and all that stuff. I was like, is anything going on for Memorial Day weekend on Sunday? Because I thought it was next weekend. And I had told Mel that, because we're supposed to do the live stream for the book club next Sunday. And so I said to Alex, I said, we're not, like, there's nothing going on, right? Like, we're just going to be at home, like, because, you know, everything that's going on right now, right? Although in Indiana, you can be up to 25 people. And so Alex and I have decided that we're going to, like, slowly over time, just to see a few of our, like, he went on a walk with his girlfriend today. She lives like a block from us, not Sarah, another girl, who's been isolating the whole time too, but he went over to her house and took Boo and Tucker, and then they went on a walk outside. So we decided that we're gonna see like 2 friends. Well, Tanya is like the only one, but I'm still not really seeing her because she's just like not super comfortable with that yet, which I, you know, totally understand. And then maybe slowly start seeing our families. But I know a lot of people here in Indianapolis that are already doing little get-togethers and stuff like that. I don't really know how I feel about that, other than maybe if it was family, I would maybe do that. You know, but... And the other thing is our family has been, like, you know, isolating all this time too, so... But I think the number is 25 now, and I think, like, in June, like, beginning of June, it goes up to, like, 50 or something like that. A lot of people I'm starting to see on Facebook and Twitter and stuff are starting to plan trips. And I'm like, I feel like it's really early to start planning trips. Alex and I are kind of resigned to the fact that we're not going anywhere, you know, anywhere in the near future. I said something about August, like I joked, and I said to him, and he was like, really? And I said, he was talking to Sarah on the phone. He had her on speakerphone. And I said, we're going somewhere for August. And he goes, really? And I go, no. I said, I just wish. I said, I wish we could. You know, maybe we can look at what our options are, what people are doing by then. I actually have a friend of mine that she took her daughter to Gulf Shores, and she rented an Airbnb that's like across from the beach. And they just went and got a bunch of groceries, and she showed pictures of the beach. It's like literally dead. There's like nobody there on the beach. And I don't know if the beaches are closed in Gulf Shores or what, but they go on like a walk every morning. And her daughter was swimming in the beach one day. And then they just hang out on the patio of the Airbnb, but it's like so nice there, you know? See, I would be okay to do something like that. But I don't think a lot of and they drove there, but I don't think a lot of the Airbnbs are open yet, like in Florida. And I really want this Diet Pepsi now. And what is down there? Oh, nothing. And we've had a couple friends of ours that have flown. We had a friend of ours that, our friend in Dallas, flew to Arizona, but he had to. It was like a work kind of thing. And then another one of my friends I saw was flying home from Florida today, and he showed the airport, and it was like dead. It was empty inside the airport. So then I'm like, well, maybe if we did go somewhere, I would feel comfortable flying, but I'm like not even comfortable planning a trip yet. I'm like, I don't even know if they're going to open our pool here yet. So trip-wise, I'm not in any hurry to... But stuff in Indiana is starting to like, well, I wouldn't say get back to normal, but it's starting to open up slowly. It'll be interesting to see how people handle it, you know, if they're respectful of stuff. I see a lot of people outside, like, exercising and walking. I need to be doing that as well. So today, Peter, what did you do today? Well, I got up. Oh, last night I finished Monster. Last night. I really liked it. I forgot. The end of it is totally rushed. It's really, Monster is really the story of Eileen and Tyria Moore, who is Selby, and her name is Selby in Monster. And it's played by Christina Ricci. I really had forgotten the movie. But what's really interesting about these movies, like Overkill was the same way, the made-for-TV movie, is that I wish there were more fictionalized movies of Eileen Wuornos, because I just like to see these people kind of like achieve the personality of Eileen, because they always miss it. Like watching it last night, like I realized like I enjoyed watching the movie. But Charlize Theron, I think she got a Academy Award for it. She completely missed Eileen, like certain personality traits about her, and there just was a lot she missed. And I've really, really watched the documentaries closely many times. Like I probably watched them. I don't even know how many times I've watched each of them. And I'm going to watch them each again this week, going into the book club next Sunday. But I just was really kind of, I keep on coming down here and the road is closed, and I keep on forgetting that. Road closed at Monn. Oh, this is where I skipped through the McDonald's. Where am I at on time? I can't even see. I wanted to look up and see if she won an Academy Award. That's what I wanted to do. I meant to do that last night. That McDonald's they redid, I didn't see it inside at night. It's so fancy inside. Not that anybody can go inside, but hold on a second. Why is Charlize Theron? Is it Theron or Theron? Okay, she won Best Actress for Bombshell. She was a nominee. Best Actress for North Country, nominee in 2006. And she won Best Actress for Monster in 2004. I've been wanting to see that Bombshell. I keep on forgetting that that's one of the movies I really want to see. She was good in it. I think the makeup and hair people had so much to do. Like, if it wasn't for her looking like her, like her teeth, like she really had Eileen Wuornos's mouth, and her hair was almost identical to it. If it wasn't for that, I'm not really sure I would be convinced that she was Eileen Wuornos. I mean, she kind of had some of the stuff down that Eileen Wuornos did, you know, like all that kind of stuff. But then there was a lot of stuff she did that it just was, Eileen Wuornos spoke with such bitterness and betrayal. But the thing is like, it wasn't, like, if you watch her in the interviews, it's not an excuse. Like, she really believes it. Like, she really, really believes it. And you can really tell, especially in the second, and there's a lot of footage of her in these, what do you call it, documentaries of her talking to guys, and the interview guy, and she's like, Nick, yeah. And you can just see how she maneuvers and how she just talks and just controls the conversation. And but you can also, like, really see, like, her mental health come through, which I think is a huge part of the story of Eileen Wuornos that they really never ever want to talk about ever with her, you know. There's like a little orange flapper dress in the window at Broadable Vintage. That was cute. And I don't know, I just like, what's interesting about Overkill, and what's interesting about, which was a made-for-TV movie, and what's interesting about Monster is it's really, both of them are about the love story between Eileen, who goes by Lee Wuornos, and Tyria Moore. They're both of them about the love story. And everything else is kind of not as given much attention. Although in Monster, they give a lot more attention to her, like, prostituting and killing these guys. And I actually thought in both movies, they really humanized her. You know, I've seen other movies and other documentaries done about serial killers, and they don't really humanize them in the way that they do Eileen Wuornos. Like, there's a scene in Monster when this guy, she's like, okay, so she's trying to get him. She's like, you want to take me in the back of the truck and you really want to, like, do it hard and all this kind of stuff, right? And she's like getting him to talk violent. And the reason why is, and she says this somewhere, I remember in some documentary or something I heard her say this, but I mean, you can tell anyway watching it. She's like, if they talk to me like harsh, then I knew that they were going to try to hurt me. I'm talking around certain words, obviously, for YouTube's factor and for any kids that might be watching. But this one scene, she's like, they're in the woods. She takes this guy to go park in the woods, and he's like stuttering. He has like a stutter, and she's like trying to talk to him to get her to like, him to say like, yeah, that's what I want to do, and he doesn't say it, and he kind of gets like real shy, and she's like, and he's like, I've never done this before, and it's this real innocent kind of moment, you know, and you see this look come over her face. This is obviously Charlize Theron, but this look come over her face, and she can't go through with killing him, and so, you know, she just like takes care of the situation, and then she like takes his money and they get out of there. But you can tell she's conflicted in her mind, like she's mad that she can't. And what that scene shows is that the killing, to some degree, has to be justifiable for her. Like, it has to make sense somewhere in her mind. And then there was this whole scene at the end of the movie where she's talking to Selby, who is Tyria Moore, about who knows what God wants, and maybe God wants us to kill people. It's this whole weird scene. I don't remember it ever having seen it before. And like, if you listen to any of the interviews, like, it's completely contradictory to anything that she ever believed or said. Like, it's really weird because she talks the way that she would say it is she talks religion a lot. She's okay with God and Jesus and all this kind of stuff, and she talks a lot about it. Like, she talks a lot of religiosity, and but she also is, to some degree, remorseful at times, and at other times, like when she's in front of a camera, she's really not, but at other times you can kind of see that, like, she knows, like, it's I don't know, she's a very complex person, and I don't really know why she is the one serial killer that's intrigued me the most. You know, you look at this girl that was abused, kicked out of her house at a young age. You know, her mother left them, although that didn't make her brother and sister, you know, serial killers. But, you know, she was prostituting at a young age. You know, she gave up a baby at 13. It's interesting because when different documents say different things in the movies. Monster and Overkill both say 13. And Dead End says 14 or 15, I think, maybe. And I'm like, well, which is it? Not that it matters, but I do think there's a little bit of a difference between like a 15, almost 16-year-old and a 13-year-old. But not tons, really. But she talks about it in Monster, too. It's literally just, she says something like, in just passing, she says it. And, but you think about all this stuff, and then in one documentary, it shows that she was literally living in the woods in the winter in Michigan. And, she just, you know, like, was basically this forgotten person that nobody cared about, nobody loved. And, you know, her entire life, she had been used and betrayed. These are facts. I mean, I'm not making this stuff up, and I'm not making excuses. But, and I think she, on top of that, had extreme mental health issues. And I also think that she had addiction issues. I think the addiction issues, whether it was a learned or an organic behavior that, you know, she was born with and it was genetic or not, I think it was a way that she dealt with a lot of this stuff. And then I think the first guy did. I think the first guy that she killed, I do think that he tried to hurt her. Like, I think that was, you know, what she says it was. And I just think it set in motion the rest. And so for me, there's one line in the movie Monster, I can't remember what it is she says, but she's like she says something, and for me it was like, well, then I wonder if, and I've always wondered this about her, you know, I don't know, love and compassion can go a long way. You know, Tyria was really the first person that really ever loved her or showed her love, and she would have done anything for Tyria, you know, and oh, I did want to say this, in the movie Monster, they show this, and I thought this was important, because they discuss it in one of the documentaries, kind of, but they don't really talk about it anywhere else. They act like Tyria sells Lee up the river, which she totally does, right? But Lee knew what was going to happen. Like, Lee knew. Like, this is said in the book, too, the Dead Ends book. Lee says to her, then you do what you have to do. Like, if you have to tell them, like, they have it word for word, I think, in the book. But she says, like, if you have to tell them what happened, then you tell them what you have to tell them. And, in the movie Monster, the way that they show it is, she says, do you still have the money that I gave you? And she says, what money? And you see Eileen close her eyes because she doesn't want the police, Selby, who's Tyria, doesn't want the police to know that she has like this huge amount of money. It was probably a couple $100 or something that Eileen gave her because she killed this guy, right? Because then that would implicate her into it. So Eileen closes her eyes because then she knows, like, they're sitting right there. So she's baiting me. So she knew, you know, she knew. I don't know. Just think about that, you know, it's like sad. Sad for everybody involved. Loss of life all around, you know what I mean? Like, all the people that were murdered and their families forever changed, and it's the whole, I don't know. I don't know who the guy is supposed to be in Monster. I can't remember the guy's name. He's like a famous character actor, but that like plays her like bar friend or whatever. But he says to her like something about circumstance, and she's like, MF circumstance, that's right. And he's like, that's the one thing people don't think about. Like, basically saying that, like, she does what she does because of her circumstances, right? Well, and I understand that to some degree, especially when you're not, like, there's probably a questionably testing low IQ. But I think her level of comprehension was low. And I think the mental health issue and this fight or flight survival technique that she had, and I think never having anybody that ever genuinely loved her ever in her entire life. Can you imagine that? I mean, never, ever. I mean, she was in her late 30s. Not one person had ever had any kind of compassion or love for her or kindness ever in her life, you know? And I'm not justifying anything that she did because I think it's horrible. I think what she did was horrible. But I think that it should be testament to how we can help people, and just by saying hi to them, or just to let people know we care about them, or we're thinking about them, you know, that, I mean, I just think that on a small level, there are people out there that they're not going to become serial killers, but they might, maybe they're hurting and their pain is shown in other ways, you know, maybe they're, you know what I mean, like, who knows? And I think it was in the TV show that I watched, 13 Reasons Why, I think I was talking about this the other day, where the kid that plays the shooter guy in it, he says at the end, they asked him, like, what made the difference on one day, and he said that Clay asked him how he was doing, and nobody had ever asked him before. Like, and he said it was, if Clay hadn't said hi to him, or how are you doing that day, I think it's I always think it's something else, so I don't know, but, like, that was what made the difference, was one person caring, you know. But I think about that, you know, it's like, if I had had one person in the popular group in high school that I had as an ally, you know, like, maybe that would have made all the difference. Maybe I wouldn't have felt so all alone, even though I had this group of friends that cared about me and loved me, you know, but I felt very alone. And I don't think they really knew to the extent that I suffered, and I don't think they really knew, the ones that did, and I think they were being bullied too. And I don't think they really knew how to protect me to the level that I needed protecting. And I do know with my friends, the worst of it, and things I've never It stopped. But the worst of it, and things I've never even shared on here, like my girlfriends did not know that in high school. I didn't tell them that stuff. Because to tell them that would mean that I would have had to have talked about it, you know, and I didn't want to do that. I didn't have any desire to do that. Diet Pepsi tastes good tonight. So I watched Monster last night, and then I watched the end of A Secret Love, the documentary on YouTube, or on Netflix, sorry. And I ate like a half a container of onion dip, of which I paid for today, because I literally had the worst cramping ever. I woke up and I said, Alex, my stomach hurts so bad. And he goes, yeah, it couldn't have been that half container of onion dip and the almost full bag of chips that you ate last night. And I was like, yeah, I'm sure it is, but my stomach still hurts nonetheless. And, but I watched that show. I don't know why I didn't have like this huge emotional response to it. I thought I would. I was talking to Tanya about it tonight, and she was like, did you cry when they get married in it? And she was like, did you cry when they got married? And I go, no, not really. They didn't even seem that emotionally moved for getting, I mean, in all honesty, they didn't. And, I don't know, I had a hard time with it. It brought out a lot of different emotions for me. I did look up some articles on where Pat is now, because Terry passes away. They show that at the end of the documentary. But that she died last year. I think she was 93 when she passed away. So they were together 72 years total, which is, I mean, unbelievable, right? And for not just that they were together 72 years, but that they were together 72 years through the adversity that they went through. I mean, they talk a lot in there about fear of being found out for being lesbians. And, I mean, it's a pretty phenomenal story, really. And, but, like, there's a lot of this family stuff that happens with this niece. I think her name is Diane. And she and her aunt's partner don't get along real great. But then it was interesting because, like, I read these articles and they were like, people wondered what happened to Pat afterwards. And she's in a nursing home in Saskatchewan, and she's, like, really close with this niece that didn't, like, they didn't like each other, like, during the documentary. And I was like, well, that's really interesting, but that's nice, I guess. I joked in my review video and said it was because she found out they had $1 million saved. She's like, this one part, she's like, you have over $1 million. You can live wherever you wanted. I'm like, they want to live in their house. Because at this one point, the one that doesn't want to move out of the house, she's like, it's like $8,000. It's like $7,800 a month to live in this nursing home, right? Which I think is outrageous too. I didn't realize they were that expensive, some of them, but this is like, I guess, a really nice one. And she said something like, it'd be cheaper just to conk off, like, to die, right? Well, they're like literally 90. I mean, and I think what the niece is missing is, it's not just about the fact that she doesn't want to go in a nursing home. It's not just about the fact that she's like, she knows it's done. She knows, like, she's looking at her wife or girlfriend at that point, or whatever, a partner of 70 some years who has severe Parkinson's disease and is so sick, you know, and I know she knows, like, we're at the end. And I think she doesn't want it to be over, and she's afraid if we move out of this house, it'll be over, and that's going to be the end, you know? And you can just hear it in her resistance. And I think to myself, like, I can't imagine, like, being at that part. I'm going to get emotional talking about this, but I can't imagine being at that part of my life, you know, where I'm like, it's over forever. Like, we're done, like, and we have to accept that, and we probably only have a couple of years left together, you know, like, I can't imagine. I just can't imagine. And then to have somebody come in and be like, just down my throat about my health, when I would be like, yes, I understand this about my health, but please give me a break, like, because I'm emotional. And there's no emotional, like, there's nothing, they don't show the niece, and maybe she did and they just don't show it, but she doesn't say anything like, I understand you don't want to leave your house that you've been in for 26 years, because this is your home. Like, I wouldn't want to be taken out of my, they don't show her say any of that stuff. It's just, Aunt Terry's sick, Aunt Terry's sick, Aunt Terry's sick, you know? It's just like, and I'm like watching this and I'm thinking, lady, do you not have any compassion in your heart whatsoever? None whatsoever. I mean, they've been together longer than you've been on this earth. Which I think that would kind of hurt too, like, if in our later years, you know, Sebastian, who is 4, and we've been together 12 years, is like, you know, I don't care about what you guys want. I just care about my Tio Alex's health, and I don't really care about you, which is basically what this niece said. I would be like, honestly, I don't care if I was 90. I'd be like, well, F you, because we've been together longer than you've even been on this earth, number one. Number two, like, do I not equal into this equation whatsoever as his partner of so many years? Like I kept on watching it for this Pat, and I thought, who's gonna take care of her once her partner's gone? Like, that's all she knows. There's one scene, and just like, when I was watching it, I got choked up. I just like, all of a sudden, it's just like, do you ever watch something and it's like, instantly you just like start crying? She is getting her, like, putting her coat on to go to some doctor's appointment or something, and she says, like, she's my everything. And I just was like, so it was hard to watch, you know? I finished that, so I'm glad I got that done. Getting all my shows done, like assignments in school. And now I am gonna watch Wentworth, I think. I mean, God, there's just so many shows I wanna watch. Well, that Hightown only comes out like 1 episode a week, so maybe I'll watch that first. The Skinwalker Ranch. People keep on asking me what the book is called. Literally, all you have to do is put in the Skinwalker Ranch, okay? It's called The Hunt for the Skinwalker. I don't know that I would recommend it. Like, I don't know if there are better books out there, but I think this is like the book that's like most highly investigated. I mean, I'm pretty far into the book at this point. Let me tell you, I have I guess I have 2 hours and 20 minutes left. So I'm like halfway through the book. And, well, I have 4 hours and 40 minutes left of the book. So it's like half of the book I've made it through. But I listened to it 2 times speed, so it's 2 hours and 20 minutes. Unless something phenomenal and crazy happens in the next 2 hours, I don't know. Like, I'm not, it's interesting, but like this is very much how it is, okay? And it's very similar to all of these, like, books and movies, like the Amityville and all this kind of stuff. It's like, the family reports one thing, but then, like, when the investigators come, it's a completely different story. Like, this, like, farmer is like, calls the guy up, and he's like, well, I mean, they don't talk about the conversations, but they'll be like, yeah, we had 5 more cattle mutilated last night, and there were lights all over the farm. And then the investigators will get there, and they literally see nothing. There's like maybe like I don't know, they've caught like these red lights going through the air, which in all honesty could be like somebody with like a laser light or something, you know? It's like what you hear the family report at the first half of the book, which is so like it's such a big, like these huge like skinwalking animals that are like 3 sizes bigger than wolves. And yeah, I talked about it on here already. And the wife literally watches this triangle UFO float over the house, and she can see it out of one window, and then she sees it outside, and then it's over her going real slow, and then she goes in the house, and then she looks out of the house, and it's going over the other side, and they see like rips in the tears to other universes where they're looking up at night, and they can see like a rip in the sky that like goes into daytime into some other universe, and it's like, okay. But then the investigators get there, and they're there a lot. Like, at one point, they're living on the farm, and they don't really ever see that kind of stuff. They find a couple mutilated cattle, like 2 or 3 over the course of, like, 2 years, when before it was happening, like, 5 a week. So, I don't know. It's very... I'm not sure I'm convinced yet. But, like, my friend, who, she's obsessed with true crime, and she's obsessed with all this kind of stuff. She was, like, really into the Skinwalker Ranch, and she was the one that was telling me, this is not my friend Mel, this is a sober friend of mine. She and I are both sober, and we're obsessed with serial killers, imagine that. So anyway, she and I were talking, and she was like, oh my God, you know about the Skinwalker Ranch? And I said, I saw the Audible book, I don't know anything about it. And she goes, I am, like, down the rabbit hole. I'm, like, watching all these documentaries, I'm reading the book, and she just read this book. And she's like, it's so good. So I don't know, like, because she was already done with it, and I said, how was the book? And she goes, it's terrifying. She goes, it's so good. She goes, I can't believe there's not more going, that people aren't talking about this more. So I have to believe that more is going to come out in the book, but right now I'm just kind of really bored with it. I'm all out of water. I want those color changing cups from Starbucks that are like, you know what I mean? Have you seen them? So they are temperature changing cups, and they come in like a set of 4. I really, really want them so bad. Did you guys watch my review video today? I showed all the stuff that I bought on at Meijer and Amazon and Starbucks. I showed all the bird feeders and bird seed. I can't wait to sit out there this morning and see if any birds actually come out. I really like this. It's kind of fun. I mean, it doesn't really make my lips any bigger, but it's the Sexy Mother Pucker. Sexy Mother Pucker. And it's by Soap and Glory, which is, honest to God, one of my favorite over-the-counter brands. Like, I think it's really high quality for cheap, is what I think. I personally think it is. From their lotions to their body washes, their body butter, I mean, which was literally like $8.99 or something, and it lasted me a long time. Well, I think it was a year ago Christmas, or maybe it was just this last Christmas, I don't remember. I got the Soap and Glory box. It was like this box that you could buy from Walgreens, and it was $20, and it came with a body wash, a body butter, and a body lotion, and I think a loofah, and it came with like a bath bomb that I ended up giving to Tanya. And it was like $20, or maybe it only had 3 things in it, I can't remember, but it was $20 and it was totally worth it. Their products are so reasonably priced, and I just love their products. Like, they just smell so good, and like, their lotions are not greasy at all, and they dry pretty quickly, which is like what I really like. The shower gel it sets up, it makes me feel so clean, and it smells really good. It's like a clean scent that I think leans a little to like the cottony side, kind of, like, you know, I mean, it smells, I mean, it's definitely not like a deeply masculine smell, but I think it's a little bit more feminine, but I kind of like, I can have some scents too that I like that are a little bit more feminine, like the Joe Malone 154, so like, I don't mind that. But it's more of I would say it's more of a clean scent than a feminine scent. But I don't mind anyway with like body, like shower gels and stuff like that. Like I like to get some, like I have like, I have some really kind of just like middle of the road. Like I have the Irish Springs. I love the Neutrogena. That's my favorite. And you can get it at Costco for real cheap. I think you can get it at Costco for like $9.99 for like a huge thing, or $11.99 or $15.99 or something. I don't know. But then Irish Springs, I love. I just saw in our closet today because, you know, we went to Meijer, like, or we went to Costco. I think I went twice before all this stuff happened. And this car, like, rushed up on me, and then it, like, backed off. I'm like, what are you doing? So we have so many supplies. And then, like, at Meijer, I was buying that, like, Dial bar soap. Because I was like, I don't want to go out and go anywhere. So I have, like, bar soap to last us through the summer. And I have a huge bottle of the Neutrogena stuff in there. And I think I have one more thing of the Harry's razors, which I said in my review video. I called it Henry's razors. I don't know why, but it's Harry's razors. I love those razors. And like toothsticks of deodorant. It's kind of nice knowing that I have that stuff and I don't have to buy it for a while, you know? I mean, I don't want to buy it surplus, but I definitely, like, if we had more space, I would buy stuff, and I would definitely buy some stuff and, like, keep it on stock, so, you know, I didn't have to go to the store, buy it when I find coupons for it and stuff like that. Because it's nice not even having to, you know, contact solution. I think I have 2 bottles of that. The other thing is, though, with some of that stuff like contact solution, I usually buy the smaller bottles. I think I have 1 big bottle. I don't, like, you don't want to buy stuff that's going to obviously be expired, right? So anyway, what was I talking about? I'm just kind of all over the place tonight. I'm loving this weather right now, you guys. It was 80 today. It was so nice. It wasn't too hot. There was a little bit of a breeze. It just was absolutely beautiful. Oh, Alex bought, so we were looking at these cabinets for our patio because we bring all of our cushions inside, like whenever it looks like it's gonna rain, and then we just cover them with the drapes. It just gets so annoying. We need new drapes in our living room anyway. We've needed them forever. And 2 things I want to get is I want to get blackout blinds for our bedroom because our blinds are like clear, like not clear, but they're like cream. And so at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, like when Alex is going to work, like it is so bright in the bedroom that it's like I cannot fall asleep. And I think that's part of why I'm not sleeping really well. But if I get the blackout blinds, I'm afraid I'll sleep too long. But I want to get the blackout blinds. And the other thing we need to do is get new drapes. And those are 2 things that won't be super expensive. But Alex wants to get like kind of long ones that drape on the floor. And our sliding glass doors, like that window is so high. So I don't know how we're going to get the way that he wants them. But we'll figure it out. We might have to have them custom made. But I really don't want to do that. So we might get just in the interim before we do that. But, what was I going to say? I was talking about something. What was I just talking about? I literally just lost my mind. I will tell you something really weird that happened to me tonight, though. While I had just finished up my review video of, like, the, how can I just, like, oh, I know what I was going to say before that. Hold on. So, Alex and I were sitting there the other night, and this was the night before, this was the night that I was going to go to Meijer with Tanya, and I said, he goes, what are you going to buy at Meijer? And I said, well, I want to buy some plants, if they have any, for inside the house. I really wanted to buy outside plants, too, and they had nice outside plants, but I didn't want to spend $300, you know? So I'm going to wait until next week, and then I think I'm going to go, like, just take a day and go to some different places to buy plants, and just buy all my summer plants in the same day, and just, I guess, just spend, like, $100 or $200 on plants. I mean, if you want your patio to look nice, you have to spend some money, I guess, right? So Oh, I actually want to go to Costco for that. Alex went to Costco today. He just ran in there, and he said that it was completely empty. That they're not doing the lines out front, but that you have to wear a mask to come in. But he said it was completely empty. So that's good to know if I have to go to Costco. But I might go in there and look at their plants, because they always have beautiful plants there. So we were talking, and I said, well, I really would like to buy one of those plastic chests, you know, for the patio that we can put our cushions in. That way, we don't have to bring them in every time it's going to rain. We can just put them in the chest. And because our cushions hold a lot of water when it rains. And he was like, yeah, that's a good idea. And I was like, okay. He goes, well, I'll just buy it for us. And I was like, no, babe, I can get it. And he was like, no. He was like, you know, you bought the furniture, let me do this. And I said, okay. He was like, because I want to buy one that, like, looks nice out there, that looks like a bench that we can put stuff on. And I said, okay. So, he bought one tonight. He sent me or he bought one tonight or last night. I think it was tonight. It's like this really nice one that looks kind of like this, like, wicker. But it's, like, hard plastic. So it'll kind of, like, match our furniture that we have out there, which is real nice. So we have that to put the cushions in. And he was like, yeah, he was like, we can just keep them out there all year round. And I'm like, I don't know if you want to keep them out there like in the dead of winter, but we can if you want, I guess. So we have that. And yeah, and then I'm going to get the plants for the patio, and then we'll be set. I think I might want to get some like little Christmas lights or something out there. They have all different kinds. And I meant to look at those the other night when I was at Meijer. Meijer does not have the greatest patio section of that kind of stuff. So this is the other thing I was going to say. I was sitting inside right after I did my review, and I bought this birdhouse, and I had the birdhouse sitting in front right next to the squirrel table. And I was sitting there, and I was kind of just like looking at it on the chair, and the same thing that happened the night, I was like, I wish I'd had this on camera, because I could see actually, like, if there were orbs, because, like, you know, you can't really see orbs unless, I mean, you can, but not really, but, like, cameras, you know, pick them up. But do you remember, like, that night that I was in the car, and I was like, what was that? Well, like, Alex was gone on his walk with the dogs, and I, like, looked, so it was like, I looked up, and something caught my eye, and then I, like, looked to the right, and I was like, what is that? And then it was like I felt like something walked behind me through the kitchen, and I was like, it freaked me completely out, and I was like, oh my God, what is going on? So, crazy, crazy stuff happening to our house lately. And I haven't even been watching any scary movies or anything. Usually when I watch speaking of, there's a red box over there. I hate the red box. The red box is so boring. They never have anything on there I want. But Tanya loves the red box. Oh my God, she rents movies from the red box all the time. But I just feel like there's so many free movies I haven't seen, first of all. But then the movies that aren't free, that are brand new, that are out, are always the ones that I want to, like, see. You know what I mean? What was I gonna say? Oh, I haven't really watched any scary movies lately, so I don't know why stuff is scaring me. The other thing I wanted to say, though, was, well, I didn't want to say this, but I was just going to tell you what else we did tonight. I don't know why. I was thinking of, well, what else have I watched? We watched RuPaul's Drag Race reunion tonight, and so we wanted to get dinner. We're going to do some kind of carry out, and Alex said, do you want to get pizza? And I was like, oh yeah, sure. Like, and I bought a frozen Geno's pizza yesterday, cheese pizza at Meijer, and because I thought we were like, I wanted that DiGiorno's. So I had bought this DiGiorno's pan pizza. It comes in its own pan, and it's the garlic bread cheese pizza. You guys, I'm telling you right now, it is one of the best pizzas I've ever had in my entire life for the price. It is so delicious. You can't beat it. So I wanted to get that. Well, they didn't have it at Meijer, so I got this Geno's East pizza. I love Geno's Pizza from Chicago. I love it, I love it, I love it. And it was one of my favorite restaurants going to as a kid when I was growing up. They had the big, like, red cups, you know, that look like the old pizza places. Like, I think Pizza had the same cups back in the day. You know, I'm talking about those red, like, cups that they have in, like, pizza places. And, I loved it. And then you would sit down, like, you would walk downstairs, and they had, like, the tablecloths that were red and white, and you could write on the wall, and it was just really loud, and I just loved it. And we would always get a pizza to take home with us. We would get, like, eat a pizza there, and then we would get a pizza to bring home with us. Well, now they have the frozen Geno's pizzas, Geno's East. They come in boxes that are, like, this big. They're deep dish cornbread crust, and if you like deep dish pizza, it is the best deep dish pizza you will ever have in your entire life. I will say this, if you're not a vegetarian, don't just get cheese, because I think, like, if it had sausage or pepperoni, I think it would make the taste a little bit stronger, because it is, and you don't need, you could probably just eat a piece or a piece and a half and be fine for the night, because it's so thick. I mean, it's literally, each piece is like that thick with the cornbread. But the cheese, it's good, but I just think that if it had like sausage or pepperoni, it'd probably be a little less bland tasting. But they have all of them there. They have sausage and pepperoni and whatever. So anyway, Alex tonight, he was like, do you want to get pizza? And I said, sure. He goes, well, I said, where do you want to get pizza? And he goes, I don't care, Pizza Hut or Papa John's. I was hoping he would say hot box pizza, because I love hot box pizza, but I said, well, let's do Papa John's. I did not even realize, you guys, that it had been like 3 months, probably longer than that, since we've gotten carry-out pizza. I don't even remember the last time that we got carry-out pizza. And I don't love having carry-out pizza, I will tell you. I love it, but the reason I don't is because I will, like, I can literally, like, I'll eat a couple pieces at first, and then I will eat, like, when I come home, like after vlogging or whatever, I'll eat like 2 or 3 more. I mean, literally, and we each get a large pizza, okay? Because we're fatty McCentral over here. So Alex gets just a cheese pizza. I think he's getting jalapenos on it now, because he started doing that at a Hot Box Pizza. He loves jalapenos on his pizza. So I think he's getting cheese and jalapeno. And then I got, don't come for me, but I love the pineapple on the pizza. I'm obsessed. I used to get pineapple and sausage, and that was my favorite. I don't love pineapple and ham, but I can honestly say I don't really know if I've ever had it, except for maybe once or twice, but I like pineapple and sausage better, but I don't eat it anymore because I'm a vegetarian. So I got pineapple and onion tonight. And then, instead of breadsticks, we got this new thing that they had that was like, I can't remember what he called it, like a quesarito or something, but it was like pizza, but it was like folded over. It was okay. It was nothing to brag about. And he got jalapenos and cheese, I think, in there or something like that. It was real spicy, but it was good. And it came with like mozzarella sauce or like marinara sauce. So we sat there and we watched the reunion of Rupaul's Drag Race. It was good. It was okay. I mean, there was literally no drama this year whatsoever. I mean, there was drama, but they didn't talk about any on the show. So it was kind of boring. Next week's the finale. And then the week after they start All Stars. I mean, don't we watch reality TV because we kind of like to see some drama? The Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. Was that on this weekend? The third part? Yes. I love to watch those Real Housewife reunions. I don't love watching the whole seasons anymore because it's just like, the shows are so, like, I can watch 3 hours of a reunion and kind of get into the toxicity of it, like, as a movie, watching it, you know, like that. But, like, I can't, like, the whole season, it's too much. Like, I just can't anymore. But I like to watch the reunions. So I kind of have to keep up with what's going on. It was funny because we were watching the reunion last week, and Alex is like, how do you know all this stuff? I said, babe, I've been watching The Real Housewives since literally season 1. He was like, the only one I don't watch is the Potomac. That's the only one in New Jersey. Those are the two that I have never, but even New Jersey I watched a little bit with Tanya. He's like, you know every single one of these women, you know everything about them. I was like, So he was like, how do you know everything about Atlanta? Because I was like saying certain stuff about like different people from Atlanta and whatever, and he was like, how do you even remember this stuff like happening? Because he said something, and I said, because I'm like a real diehard, like, she's not very nice, okay, but like as a character on the show, like, I'm quick to defend Nene, and I'm like, but Nene's had a lot of like crap that she's gone through the years. But then he was laughing because I said, oh, I think Cynthia is so beautiful. I think he goes, Alex and Tanya are huge Kenya fans, and I'm not a big Kenya fan. I really can't stand Kenya. I think she's rude. You guys, it had stopped so long that the camera turned off, and I didn't even realize that I was in talking about Kenya and how Cynthia's a kind of behind the scenes kind of SHI tootster, you know? She kind of stirs stuff up behind the scenes so she can like appear like she's not into all that and whatever, but. And then I hadn't watched Beverly Hills in a while. I don't think I watched any of it. Maybe I did last season. But I was watching it and Alex was like, I think there's 2 new wives on there, and so he was like explaining them to me, like who they were. And Kyle's house is gorgeous. Like that white house out, it just is gorgeous. I don't know. I really just like the reunions. And Alex loves Vanderpump Rules, and I just cannot get into that show anymore. I just think it's like, I used to watch it. I think they're so mean to each other on that show. Especially the girls, I feel like, are so mean to each other. I'd rather watch a good drama. A good drama that's not real. This car just like turned around in the middle of the street. I need to retrim my beard because when you trim your beard, like let's say if you go here and here, there's like maybe like a hair or two that you'll miss. And I like was looking today and there's like one right here. There's like one right here. I need to like trim it up again. But I actually like it, really. I like it short. I miss it short. I had some compliments on my video and people were like, I liked it so much better longer and when you were like Quarantine Peter, and I was like, ooh, I don't know what I think about all that. It was a lot. It was a lot. I don't think we need to go back to that anytime soon. You guys hear all the birds outside? I think it's gonna be a good summer. I have a good feeling about this summer. It's gonna be just like a relaxing, sit outside, read, enjoy the patio, enjoy the weather, you know, watch some scary movies. I think it's gonna be a good summer, just relaxing. I wanted to go by our pool tonight to see if they had started opening the pool. I can't. Okay, this is the other thing that I'm completely floored by, is that it is Memorial Day weekend. The pool is supposed to be open, and they haven't even started opening the pool yet, which I don't know what that's about. Like, I don't know. Like, I know with private locations, like, it's up to like, it's up to that person, right? Like, it's not a city pool. So, they can, like, it's like somebody's backyard pool. You can open it whenever you want to. So, I don't know, like, why they're not opening it. Like, I really don't get it. I mean, obviously I wouldn't go into the pool right now anyway, unless, but they heat the pool. The pool's heated, so it's nice. Like, you can go in it on like a cool summer evening and it's like 80. They heat it during, like, for a while, and then they stop heating it when it gets real hot in the summer. Stop at the post office. Anyways, you guys, I think I'm gonna get off here tonight and make this a little bit shorter vlog, because I'm like halfway through the battery. I think the battery's gonna stop here in a second, so I think I'm gonna get off here and stop the vlog, if you guys don't mind, tonight. Anyway, a little shorter vlog for you to catch up on things. Then I'll do some longer ones this week. But I hope you guys are having an amazing Sunday. Well, hold on a second, please. Thank you guys so much for watching this vlog. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being with me during the wee hours of the night and driving around with me on the dark Indianapolis streets while we just talk and hang out. And I wanted to sound like a radio show host for a second. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this vlog, please give it a thumbs up. I really would appreciate it. It really does matter to me. And put a blue heart in the comment section below for the OG Wolf Pack, for all of us over here that are just trying to get by through life together, hanging out together, being nice to one another. And yeah, and I don't know, put some colorful emojis down in the comment section below also for all the essential workers and the frontline workers that are still out there helping us get through as we transition to a new world. Thank you guys so much, and your families, for help. Appreciate it. And I know it's not easy. I really, really appreciate it. There's a difference between being scared to go into a store and having to go into a store because you work there, you know? And the hospital and med check centers and, you know, mini clinics and things like that. So doctor's offices, dentist offices, all of that. And I hope you guys are having an amazing Sunday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, don't have other plans. Make the most of your day. Do something fun today. Do something exciting. Sit outside if it's nice, if you can. If you're somewhere where you can sit outside, read a book, start a new TV show. I'm going to start Hightown tonight. So if you guys want to watch, I'm probably going to watch it tonight when I get home. So if you want to watch a show with me, I'm going to watch Hightown because they're releasing an episode a week. I think it's on Stars or HBO or something. And I thought I was going to be able to make it all the way through without changing my battery, but I didn't. So anyway, I don't even remember where I was at. Okay, let's see. Oh, do something that will make yourself proud when you look back on it tomorrow or the next day or next week or a year from now or 10 years from now or 20 years from now or 50 or 60 or 69, family friendly, or 80, even 80 years from now, or 100. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. I do. I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day, and pass that on to somebody else too. You know, somebody that you care about. If you see them, just say, hey, if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And look at yourself in the mirror every single day and tell yourself, I love you, and do at least one positive affirmation, like saying to yourself, you're valuable, I love you, and you're valuable. And then also every night before you go to bed, say, tomorrow's going to be such an amazing day. It's going to be an amazing day tomorrow. And I'm going to be happy, joyous, and free all day tomorrow. I'm going to laugh and dance and smile and spend good time by myself and with my friends and family. And I'm going to have great, you know, opportunities come my way and great positive experiences. And if my day gets off track, then I can just start it over whenever I want. And when you get up in the morning, look in the mirror and tell yourself, I love you. Today is going to be an amazing day. Today is a gift. And what I do with today is up to me. And I'm gonna have an amazing day today. I'm gonna be happy, joyous, and free all day today. And I am going to laugh and smile and spend time with my friends and family and enjoy time alone. And yeah, and I'm gonna have great opportunities come my way, and I'm gonna have great experiences that are positive experiences. And if my day gets off track, like I told myself last night, I can start my day over whenever I want. And most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody today and let them know how much they mean to you. Reach out to them and say, hey, just want to let you know I was thinking of you today. Or, hey, I was just checking in on you. How you doing? Just can be real simple. Just, hey. It could be as simple as that. Or, hi. Or, I don't know, an emoji, I guess. You can just send an emoji. And also practice random acts of kindness. But like I always say, don't tell anyone, just do it, because it's a nice thing to do, it's the right thing to do, and it's a nice thing to put goodness and kindness and compassion out there in the world, and I think it makes us feel better too, you know. And think that's it. So practice at least one random act of kindness each day, I think, you know? Just help somebody out in some small way. And I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching tonight. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!